We are about to start our meeting. We do not have any people signed up for public comment, and I did not receive anything. Nobody has received any emails for public comment. So then we can move on to the agenda. The first item is approval of minutes. Ted, do you have anything about the minutes?
Nothing.
I don't either. So we need a motion.
I move to approve the 3 executive committee meetings in February.
Seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All right, so we've approved the minutes from the last 3 meetings, February 10th, 11th, and 12th. No public comments, I did that out of order, sorry folks. And then the executive search, I will turn that over to Amber from Koya.
Hi all. I think that we had a great meeting on Tuesday, and we may not need loads and loads of time today, but I do want to start talking a bit about logistics because I think our team, Trisha, and
can you turn the volume up a little? Oh, do you know how to do that?
Let me see.
Sorry, I can't hear you. And Ted doesn't have
Okay.
his hearing aid, so let's handle that. We need volume.
Yeah, I'm just clicking on stuff.
Fortunately, it looks like it's all the way up at the moment.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, then it's on your end, Amber.
am I just too quiet today? Is this any better?
That's perfect.
That's
Okay. Well, good morning. Glad to be at the stage with you all. I think today's conversation is a lot of logistics, so bear with me. You know, I think at this stage, we want to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure that everybody who's going to be meeting the candidates for the first time feels fully prepared and like they know what's come before this. So Trisha and I have some stuff we need to do behind the scenes, all of which we'll share with you before it goes out, but want to kind of preview what we're thinking, if that's okay. So first, the dates that we proposed, March 11th, 12th, and 13th, do work for all 3 candidates, and it's my understanding they work for all of the board.
excellent.
So I'd really like to just check in, I think, Lee, and make sure that you think these dates are going to work for particularly the directors to meet, and for you and Susie.
Yes, so all of the dates work for Susie and I and the LT team. We do have a member who's out on health leave, but we will, as soon as he's back in the office, we will forward all that to them. But as it is now, we're good with all of the dates. And then Susie and I are good with taking the candidates out to lunch.
Amazing. Well, that was maybe the easiest scheduling ever then. It's really hard to get that many groups of people together, so I'm glad it's going to work.
Uh-oh, she froze.
And I think
It's a Mitch McConnell moment.
You froze, Amber?
can you hear me still?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Great. So we'll move forward with these dates. And on that means a few things. We'd like to send, well, Lee, I guess question for you, would it be better for us to send calendar invites or for Kamaya to send calendar invites?
I think you can send calendar invites.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. In that case, what I think we'll do is we will draft some update emails for the board and for the LTT to give everybody kind of a longer range heads up about what's happening. And we'll send out calendar invites. I think for the all staff, we can likely wait a little bit longer so that the board and the LTT hear the information first. And they'll all get more detailed information. We figure with the LTT, for example, they should see the candidate applications with some of the sensitive information redacted, but they should get kind of the full packet that the board has previously gotten. And we'll share some suggested interview questions so that they can start to get a sense of what they might want to talk about with each candidate. With the LTT, Lee, we'd love to do a 1-hour meeting when we can pull everyone together, maybe with the exception of the individual.
Okay. So LT does regularly meet.
Looks like we lost
Oh,
Was
did we lose?
Amber and we got
through
Tricia.
what it looked like and, any questions they have.
You know, Amber, we couldn't hear what you were saying.
I think she's just talking about a prep meeting
Okay.
for the leadership team. I mean, unless you think they don't need it, but I think that maybe meeting with us to ask questions and prep for it might be a good practice.
Yes,
Might be a good
they're
suggestion.
very interested in doing that.
Okay,
Will
great,
there,
good,
will
perfect.
there be any anti-bias sessions with them?
With the LTT, that would be part of prep. Yeah.
Okay, excellent.
We do meet as a leadership team every Wednesday at 1 p.m., which is a standing meeting. You could, kind of commandeer that, or we can set another time when all of us are available to do that.
If you're already meeting,
Trisha,
I'm
it
sure we can
looks
make one of
like,
those work.
yeah, on 3/5, actually, it looks like we could do 3/5. And then it's a week
Yeah.
before the interview, so it's still kind of fresh for folks.
Okay. So yeah, that's at 1 p.m. So I will give LT a heads up that you guys are going to be joining us for that meeting.
Okay, and if you could send us an invite with the link, Zoom link, that would be great. Oh, you'll be doing it in person. So yeah, if you could.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great.
And that will be Susie as well, right?
Yes.
Okay, excellent.
And then if we're meeting the LT on 3/5, maybe we'd like to do an open office 7th. We wanted to kind of run that by the search committee and make sure that made sense to folks. I know we won't get everybody from all staff at at an office or in the all staff meet and greets, but certainly want to offer the option to have a conversation. And then after that kind of open office hour, we would send a recap to full staff with all the information they need to know about the all staff meet and greets the following week. We can
Okay.
schedule it and send them calendar invites before that, but in terms of the details, we'd rather keep the details maybe a little bit closer to the chest until we are approaching the interviews.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. Let's see.
And we'll share, like I said, an email for board and for the LTT as well as all staff to kind of prep folks for these upcoming things.
Okay.
In that email, one of the things we'll include is the mechanism for feedback. So we'll be asking the LTT and all staff to provide feedback via an online Google form that looks just like the rubric you've all been using. So we'll share that with you all as part of the draft email so you can look through, but it'll look very familiar. If you want any edits or changes, though, to those feedback forms, just let us know before those emails go out.
Okay.
I think the other thing I'd be curious for, and Lee, sorry, this is a question for you as well, is it looks like the OPPL I saw something online about reimbursement and the way in which you all do that for staff. It was updated in like January of last year.
She said
Did you re-
reimbursement. Amber, you're having some pretty in and out tech issues. I don't know, you might want to call in potentially if there's a dial-in number. But I think she was talking about reimbursement.
Okay.
Policy online, we had found that. I actually don't know where she was going with that question, but I think she was asking probably if we follow that same format.
Okay, so like for the travel.
Yeah.
Let me take a look.
I also have a question about travel too. Like where I couldn't hear on the last meeting, like what the suggestions are for people staying. We always are cautious of overlap, so I don't know about having candidates all stay in the same hotel overlap. That's what I'm.
Oh,
Okay.
Park has one.
Yeah, we have one hotel. Yeah, I mean, Yeah, like if we don't want
maybe,
them staying in the same hotel, we would need to, I think, choose another community that has multiple hotels
oh,
so we
okay,
can cross over. Or,
never
I
mind,
mean,
actually, Greg,
maybe we can ask the Carlton, like, can you put
no,
them
it's
on
okay,
different
actually.
floors or?
Greg is gonna be in the middle and he's not staying overnight, so there won't be overlap.
Okay.
Okay, so the place to stay is the Carlton, though? I'm asking for myself now.
Yes, the Carlton Hotel,
Okay,
literally it's in walking distance of the library. But it's a pretty nice hotel.
great.
Yeah.
It's like a small, like individually owned hotel.
Great.
And they can direct bill the library, right?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, is that how you would set it up? Because Coyle will be making the arrangements. So should they set it up to direct bill the library?
Yeah, how do you guys want to do it?
Sounds like, I think it might be Amber's.
Because
Territory.
we can reimburse, or, you know what, I want to I'll loop in Billy to get that whole process set up for you guys. Maybe I'll send an email to him and you, and he can kind of list out, because for like staff, some staff get reimbursed, most staff just use like library credit cards to book things. If it's easier for us to book or you to book, like, we can work that out. Whatever is easiest
Okay,
for Koya and the candidates.
Billy Treese is HR and finance.
Finance, yeah. So I can.
okay, that sounds great.
And I think during the meeting, what we were talking about is that we just wanted to keep per diem and that sort of thing in line with what staff gets.
Yep. Okay, Amber doesn't have a dial-in number, but she's chatting me and she's hearing and she said that's the best thing and the answer she was hoping for, so
Okay.
Oh, there was no dial-in number for our,
I don't think so.
I guess not.
Yeah.
should we ask for one? The tap is just right outside the door,
Oh, okay, good.
making sure that everything's going okay.
Okay.
Chatted to the user.
Okay, perfect. Josh is working on it, Amber. He thinks there is, so he'll G-chat us, as soon as that comes.
Oh, okay, the other thing, and while we're waiting for that though, is just confirming the format of the interviews. I think that we want to think about what the format's going to be for these sessions. For example, lunch with the candidate with the interim co-EDs, that's going to be conversational and that'll be questions that come up. That won't be anything structured. I think for the interview with direct reports, we could support with Q&A, and we could also have the candidates come with like a prepared 7-minute statement of who they are, what they learned, why they're interested in the position, almost like an opening statement, and then
Yeah.
have it be a little bit more free-flowing Q&A from there.
I like that format.
I think that's a great idea because we had 2 of those from them, right? Didn't they do a bit of one in the first answered? Well, they just knew the questions in advance. So it was similar to that. And the second one, they made a statement, so they can, they can kind of build on those.
Yeah.
Since
Yeah.
the leadership team won't have had that. I mean, it would probably even be fine if they just,
Yeah.
build on what they've already done for us, because it'll be new.
Yeah, maybe not as specific or 20 minutes long. It could be like more like 7, but it could be a little bit more like their kind of introduction of like who they are. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're right, building on that leadership piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that format.
So basically for the all staff, it'll be like an opening statement and a mingle. And for the board, it'll be, I mean, they already had that opening statement. So I kind of want it to be in a little bit more of an environment that's not structured and a little bit more
Yeah.
getting to know them, a little bit more conversational.
So will the leadership team though will have some questions to ask as well, right? Or no?
Yeah. I think the interview with the direct reports is not a meet and greet with like a lot of people. It's going to be a little bit more intimate. So I think that they should be prepped with questions.
And can, in terms of the source of those questions, between them and the board, we're gonna try and weave in some of the questions that the public has given us that they were interested in, right?
Sure. Yep. Absolutely.
And then you'll be meeting with the leadership team in advance, so then they can add their own questions as well, right? Okay, I like the idea of a mixture of, questions that came from the public and from the leadership team on that, and for the board, the same kind of format. Make sure we get the public's info in there.
Yeah. So maybe we'll get all the public questions, our suggested questions, any remaining questions maybe the search committee didn't get to, and prep the leadership team with that, and the leadership team and our prep can then call down with it, what they want to ask.
I also love the fact that we had the candidates be able to ask questions of us. And I think that it was really interesting to see the questions that potential candidates would have for the leadership team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and that also led to, I felt like whenever we had them asking questions, it became a little less formal too. And it became more conversational, and we got a better sense of interaction. So I think that would be great with them.
So I was looking at the schedule. Do you think there needs to be like a mini break in between like the LT interview and the all staff meet and greet? Or do you think it's okay to just go from one to the other?
Well, we should probably put even if it's 15 minutes in there. I was going to ask the same thing of if we, let's see, like maybe we could put even just a 15-minute break.
Yeah.
And then does the full board who just met with all of the candidates want 2 full hours at the end of the day?
I'm not sure what your question is, because the full board has not met the candidates. The committee has.
Oh, right. It was a full board debrief. Sorry. Right. So it'll be a full board then at the end.
Yeah.
I was
so
like, wait, I
think
just
we
saw
do.
everybody. Yeah.
I think we do.
Okay, great.
Yeah. And again, because they have not, the full board has not experienced those intros from them.
Yep.
I think, weaving in some of the information from the first couple rounds, somehow getting, some of that in there for the full board would be nice. I mean, yeah, we've reported to them, but that's different than hearing it.
Sure. Yeah, no, of course. Okay.
Is Amber still?
Yeah.
Lost?
Yes,
I think
I
they're
folks
still.
can hear me better.
Yes.
Oh, now we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how long this will last, but I am here and listening.
Okay, great. Do we have more in open session before we go into closed session?
I don't think so. I guess yep.
I didn't hear.
Go ahead, Amber.
Nothing else in open, I think.
Okay,
I move that we go to closed session.
I second.
All right.
All right, closed session. We'll see you in a minute.
Okay.
It's open though, right?
I think that's open.
We didn't do it backwards before, did we?
I don't think so. No, I think we are. We're still in open.
We're in open session
We're in
now?
open session.
Okay. So we have concluded the business that we had to do in closed session about the executive search, and I declare this meeting adjourned.